of you want to do things right? To keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you want to truly succeed in attaining all in that which is your need? To be heard by the real answerer of all deeds, the true hero of all whom pleads. Who of you really want to bow down to the true King of Kings commanding the crown? To worship the one that ever rules alone, commanding everything of creation from the seat of its throne.
Lord Holy-Apostle.
Why did you call it the Big Apple? Adam's apple? No. Why you put that thought in my mind?
That's the day they give it, you know. They trace their history back to their mother, the country of England, I'm talking about. And they call it the New York because of the city of Old York that's in England. The New Amsterdam.
I know
and
that.
All these people, but they connect that. But people don't realize.
But they call it the Big Apple because of the apple in the Garden of Eden.
Oh yeah. We here in the Garden State. You know, we talk about something that all these things are connected, and people do not realize how much this connectivity and relativity is. If, like I used to call this message to say now, 4,000 called down on that day. Who gave a call to them to let them know what was going on?
Yeah.
But in our times, you know, because the time we live in now, and the way they got this thing going on with this Patriot Act, this old new order thing jumping off, none would dare call it conspiracy.
Yeah.
And people scared to say the thing.
Yeah.
People may think it.
It's just like when Allah said about 10, 15 years ago, this world gonna be like Nazism.
Oh, that's what we.
In a police state. And we there.
We're there.
Everybody afraid to speak. They talking about freedom of speech. People are afraid to speak. And then they get onto their computers and they be expressing themselves and they say, hey, we're going to arrest you because you put that on the internet. What about freedom to express yourself? This world here that we live in is a world of deception.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yes,
everything is built on deception. Even the Constitution that wasn't meant for us. And it's like they say, we're 3/5 of a man. They say, oh, well, we this whatever. But they didn't take it out of the book.
Right.
You know? They didn't write into that book, this was a foolish idea.
Right.
And we should have never placed it in here. You know? And for this, the people will be given restitution. No, they still consider us a beast, not because we hang in trees, but because they have diseducated us. They have diseducated our people. They have broke us down to ignorance, slave mentalities. Our greatest leaders in this country is groping at their tables. Who wants to be nearest to the Lord as a man, as a human being? And who wants to be nearest to the Jinn? Favored by them, our leaders. They're not trying to get our people to the Lord El and His grace and mercy. They're trying to get us accepted by the Jinn and left alone to be greater evil people.
Right, I mean...
Because what do the Jinn have to offer us?
I mean, when you really look at things, it's just like, you know, what we try to tell our children. The game haven't changed, just the players. Because if you go back to the game is still being played like we're slaves on the plantation. You had the house niggas that did whatever it is they had to do to try to win the favor of their slave masters. Not so that they could help free up their people or find a way to get close to slave master so he could show leniency to all the people. It was all about what they could get. But at the same time, they was fronting like they was doing good for the field people as well. Same thing we have today. The game is still the same. We got these people out here call ourselves the leaders and what have you. They're going to get DNA tests to see they got Caucasian in them. They up there saying fight to the Caucasian say, okay, well, let's settle it this way. Not on your terms, not on their terms. And then you come back to your people and say, See, white men want to be our friends. No, they won't. White man, I mean, what's in you is in you.
Yeah.
What's in us is in us. What's in them is in them.
Yeah.
You know, that haven't changed because nobody has surrendered to Ahezaah to root it out of them.
Right.
So if none of us surrender to Ahezaah, to beg Ahezaah to root that evil that's out of us that keeps us down, then what has changed? It don't matter how many times we visit church. It don't matter how many times we get on our knees. None of that stuff matters until we beg Ahezaah with all we have to change us.
Well,
Other than that, that chain can't be broken.
Well, I'll give you a great example of our people. Martin Luther King came, and our people loved him.
Oh yeah.
And just about all the black Americans ran behind him. He got beat and all kind of stuff was done to him and his people. Not even Caucasians is calling us to Martin Luther King. And they done made him like a god for African Americans. Elijah came with a message from the Lord to tell us to love one another, to love ourselves. The people got angry. Those who believed in him got angry at what he was revealing to them about what they wasn't aware of about the Caucasian people, so that the Caucasians started falsely propagating. They teaching hate when he was teaching truth. Simple truth. They were the devils, the doers of evil, who had did evil to you, to us as a nation of people, you know, with the help of other nations. He didn't lie. But here today, our people still hate him, hoping and praying no one like him ever rise again. Why? Because we're in the White House. Now they take an African Caucasian American who's not a Negro.
Yeah.
He's not of the Negro gene. And when I use the word Negro to show you the separation,
Right.
he didn't come from slaves. He's not of us. And Allah is so ironic with this thing, so funny. Raised him in Hawaii, a racist state that ain't white but hate blacks. From here. Huh? Raised them there. Now he's the president. And we, who want to take everything with color, say he's ours. How's he ours? Was Idi Amin ours?
Oh, they say he's out.
He was black.
They say he was out.
Oh, I guarantee you the black folks said no he ain't.
Over
No, over here they said no he ain't.
That's right, but we like I'm done.
You know what I'm saying? It just don't make sense. And I'm not, see, people might think that I'm down on this president, but I'm not down. I'm down on the scam. Because Allah told me a long time ago
That this was coming.
that this was coming. And that they had to prove to the nations of the world that they were good to their slaves. That they were allowing their slaves to rise in order for the world to let them have reign in their nations. Because they want to control the whole world. They want to police the world.
I just gave to you maybe about, like I said, about 15 years ago. Part of the distraction in the war that's going on today is the part of the preparation that they did through us.
Yeah.
They prepared us very well in the movies.
Mm-hmm.
All the movies that we look back on, whether it was this movie Armageddon, The Fifth Element, they always had a black president, but the world's in the state that it's in right now, on a state close to destruction.
Yeah.
They had a black man in office then, in all those movies.
In 24 too.
Right, the world's always in a state of chaos.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have that day and time when people can't see it.
No.
Though they watch the movies because they have made that their
Right.
pastime, they don't really take it for what it's really worth. We discussed that today in the class with the young people about how they distract you.
Mm-hmm.
Have your mind going in so many ways and not seeing what's going on, whether it's subliminally, because they do that very well through the mainstream, through the media.
They experts.
Cartoons, movies, music.
Ahezaah said the media is the greatest tool of evil today.
How they do it.
You know?
Of the deception.
Yeah.
And our people listen to the Pied Piper, through the music, through the media, through the television. All these things distract us from what's really going on.
And unfortunately, their people listen even more
Oh yeah.
to them. They are taking more. They fall for the trick. And they are the have-nots and don't even realize it. And the Jinn is trying to get out of it. They laughed at Elijah about the mothership, but they trying to get a mothership to get out of here. Trying to get off of Earth. And they ain't planning on
That's
taking
what that
300 billion
2012 is
Caucasians
about.
With him.
I mean, 300 million Caucasians.
That's what that 2012 is about.
That's right.
I'm like, my daughter was saying something about 2012. I said, ain't none of us on that plane.
No.
You know, they trying to, and they showing you, if times get tight, we got our jets, we want to take off, go away.
Can you imagine them? They about to get up off this planet in 2012, and Obama run up there and say, "Who the hell are you?" They said that was the president. Well, we couldn't identify him because they all look alike.
Hey, but I'm Barack. Who? Yeah, that's just, but it's a state of, that's the world we're living in now.
Allah is so funny. Call him blessed,
Blessed
right?
bomb.
And blessed bomb, huh?
That's what I was saying.
Bomb.
I looked high
And then, man, the
low.
president, he got a name that one of the most hated names that the Americans hate next to Muhammad, which is Hussein.
Yeah.
They hate Hussein.
That's they do.
Yeah, they hate it.
Hold it, what the Hussein?
No, Hussein. That's his middle name.
Oh, it is?
People say Hussein, but it's
Hussein,
Hussein.
Oh,
You know, they hate that name.
I never
For
knew that.
Saddam Hussein,
That's right.
they hate that name.
I didn't even know that was his middle name. They
Yeah,
kept it out in
yeah.
the media. They always just
Well,
say
they put it
Barack
there a
Obama.
little bit. Yeah, they put it out there, but they don't really push it.
It ain't online.
If you look, you'll find it.
And then under the dictionary.
They made a big fuss of it.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, you can find it. It's funny,
But
man.
it all connects back to what you said about the very beginning of this program about demon beasts,
Yeah,
the service of the advocates of the devil,
uh-huh.
and how they have their hand in every part and facet of our lives.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only those who seek to follow the guidance of the Lord, only way they're going to be safe in this day. You know, because you can't evade what they're trying to put down from the marketing you with the chips.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because they already got you hooked in with the credit cards, and tracking and everything you want to go.
Yeah.
You can't escape and say, well, I easily guide you.
Yeah.
You know, and they laughed at that. I was thinking about what Allah did with Muhammad when he was trying to kill him when he left Mecca.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I easily guided him out of there
Mm-hmm.
to the city of Medina. He had his cousin Ali stay in his bed.
Yeah,
but
and
he
protected him with spider web.
and all these things. But see, people say, oh, man, that's the fantasy. That can't really happen. But later, if I easily guided what it did with the people like we have Harry Tubman, who guided people through the Underground River, I easily guided them to protect them and get out of slavery and brought up back successfully over 300 times, in and out, into the heart of the devil's lair of slavery and took them out of there. So don't tell me I easily can't do what it want and God wouldn't want how we want to do it. If we want to protect you, those who are in favor, like he was saying before, they will be protected. But those who want to sit around and don't think what's going on is happening in this world is real, then so be it.
Yeah,
That's
you know,
what it
one
is.
of my first concerns when Ahezaah came down on me was, well, you know, okay, I'm ready to die. You know, I was thinking about Malcolm X.
Right.
You know, and the brothers, you know, of the black movement, the Black Panthers. You know, I said, well, of course they're gonna want to kill me. And I started thinking, well, where can I go? You know, and I used to say, no, you're not gonna run. I said, what? He said, you're not gonna run. You're not going to run and you're not going to hide because you won't be able to run and hide in this day and time. Now, this is back in 1979 before they was manifesting all this stuff they got out here. And surely, no matter where I go, I can't run and hide. Nowhere. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Because they watch from this outer space.
Oh, yeah.
They watch through your TV set. How many people know that they manufacture TVs to look at you while you looking at TV? There's a method to the madness of cable and satellite,
Oh, yeah.
huh? And their electronic, you know, devices, you know. But you know, it said, you know, don't even worry about it. I'm not gonna let them touch you. You know, now Ahezaah got all the power. You know, but you know the Jinn never gives up. You know, they're gonna continue to throw things on television to keep the people in fear, because a lot of those programs, the theater, a lot of that stuff, them action movies, that's not just to excite you or entertain you, that's to inflict fear in you. Thoughts and fear. You know, and they know that when the ignorant people among our people look at certain shows, they know what to show them to incite evil in them, to incite an imbalance in them. That's why you got certain types of movies that come to our communities that you will never see in other communities, and then you got certain kind of movies in other communities you'll never see in our community. You'll never get an educational picture in the urban areas. You know? Our people, they go to the movies, if it ain't about blood and killing and somebody stomping somebody's head in, oh, that wasn't a good movie. You know? Because they got us at the point where we want to kill something. And then they say, oh, look at them, they beasts. What's wrong with them? What's wrong with them? You is what's wrong with us. You is what made us like we are, and won't re-educate us, and won't allow us who can re-educate us amongst our own to re-educate us. So it's you that's wrong with us. They said, and then they got our leaders running around. You can't blame the white man no more. You can't blame the Caucasian. And I'm not trying to be racist, people. Trust me, I'm not trying to be racist. Don't think that I'm being racist. I'm being for real. You know, because, see, I don't hate Caucasians.
Only one thing you racist is black people.
Yeah, probably
that's
so.
it. Only thing you racist.
Well, the Caucasians understand what I'm saying. They know what I'm talking about. You know, they have hurt us tremendously, and they continue to hurt us tremendously, and they will never, ever, ever, ever let us be free. Be of the free. They'll never let us be of Ahezaah. Poor Michael Jackson. He discovered Islam. And said, I'm Muslim. Next thing you know, he dead. What happened?
But you know,
he didn't know that he was signing a death warrant.
But you know, the whole thing is
because he reached too many people. And just like Martin, when Martin was going to meet Elijah, pow. That's
what happened.
See, when you got the great influence of people, then you become a target, and when you gonna make a move, because they'll let you get 1 billion people as long as you serving them. When they see that you gonna make a move, we got to get him off the planet.
We got to kill this situation.
And with Michael, it ain't even looked at. They don't even have a microscope or magnifying glass on his situation.
Nope.
It's like, what happened? Why? All of a sudden, people said, well, he was going to do the show, they got the insurance and this, that, and the other, and blah, 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 blah. Hey, man, it was, somebody put it in the mix to have this man taken off, and they put that insurance to try to get a little something from him. That's what I believe. I'm only stating what I believe. This is what they call it, gossip. But you think about the gossip.
But you know, when our people, because it's our people that bring the argument to us. You know, my whole thing is I don't have a problem with us having a job. We need a job to support our family. But when we get so blind where we think that we have accomplished something at something at a place that you don't own, and then you think that you're being treated fairly, when I could show you that a person with the same amount of education or less than you of a Caucasian race is making more money than you. My whole thing is, I'm not saying be dissatisfied that you have a job. No, thank Ahezaah much you have a job, but don't lie to yourself and then put that lie out to your children and your children, acting like Caucasian people have done us right. They have not. They allow us to go to college. Oh, they allow us to get education. We're paying for their institution.
You pay for that.
We're paying.
You pay for that.
Their parents could afford to pay for their college education. We have to take out their loans. So when we look at thinking racist, it's not racist, it's facts. Now,
And
if you want to
can't get
put,
into all their schools because
No.
their
No.
schools, they don't want you to know what they teaching in those schools.
That's right.
That's
They-
why, because like when they mentioned Cornell on the documentary
Yeah.
and some of the other Ivy Leagues and other schools, top schools in the nation about this Antichrist thing they teach up in there. You know, when I say Antichrist people, I'm talking about teaching against the Christ, teaching against El,
Right.
teaching against Allah, not Jesus.
Right.
They spoon feed you Jesus, man, with a big clown spoon, one of them big ass spoons you can't even fit in your mouth. You know what I'm saying? Here, take Jesus, eat it. You know, but it really surprised me, you know, to see that they spilling that. You know, because they don't care no more.
right.
You know, they didn't raise women over men. They didn't turn this thing upside
Raised
down.
Afro-American women.
Over men, yeah, well, we know how that is. And then they've taken people who are against what Ahezaah commands of us to be in terms of our sex preferences,
Right.
and gave them an importance in life. You understand? Gave them power. Now, if they got power, where you gonna get justice from?
Right.
Oh, it's payback time for everybody who laughed at the so-called faggots in the diets.
Yeah.
It's payback time. When you got the judges that's into that, and the senators, huh? Yeah, the lawmakers,
Yeah.
huh?
And people don't recognize, you can realize the reality of that, you know.
No.
And the sad thing about it, if we as African American people start really just viewing stuff and looking
Yeah.
at it for what it is, the school teachers, our people, that school teacher has been groomed in these schools to lead our children astray. They not coming to teach the children, they coming to tell the children how to live their lives.
And they're trying to institute a takeover of your children in the state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why we tell the people, all you youngsters who got children, got young children, go and claim your children in the courts.
Get custody.
Get custody of them because they claim that your children are wards of the state. If you have them in whatever state, they're not your children.
Right, unless you go and get full custody.
Unless you go get full custody. So go ahead by their legal system and get it. You
That's
know,
right.
to protect your children because something may happen in the future, then they want to go and lock you up.
And that, you know, and people laugh at people, you know, our people don't understand. They laugh at people that homeschool their children. But, you know, some African American people are now homeschooling their children. And there's nothing wrong with homeschooling your children. They saying that if you homeschool your children, they're going to be mentally imbalanced because they don't know how to interact with other children. And I was talking to a friend of mine who homeschooled her. And she said, you know, they put out that falsehood. She said, but if you take your children around their family, if you belong to a church, a community like your church and everything.
It's for the parent to help to bring
Right.
the balance to their children. You know, our children go to school when we were younger. We used to teach them when they came home.
Right.
We used to reteach them. We used to sit them down. What you learned in school? What was happening in school day? What did y'all talk about in school day? What your teachers say today? This, that. Oh, really? Well, look, listen to this, that, and the other because you got to keep that on them so that they can be safe because, you know, like when I was a child, I recognized the racism and I recognized certain individuals aimed at me to take me out because I was intelligent.
Right.
You know? And I was intelligent at the wrong time in the wrong situation. So they opened the pathways for me to fail. You understand what I'm saying? But you know, Holy Queen was making a mention about jobs and stuff like that. There's something came to my mind, but it kind of slipped, but it's back. You know, one of the problems we have is the language of this nation.
Yes.
We have a faulty and evil language. My job.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to my job.
Oh, yeah.
Now, when you say mine, you take ownership of the job. That's not your job. That's somebody else's job. They doing a job on you.
Uh-huh.
Making you think it's your job. And you go there and they doing people wrong. You sitting up in a position of work where you can maybe, you see injustice being done through you, but you ain't gonna change it because your job called for you to continue the injustice that the company you work for is doing. Huh?
Oh yeah. I know. I always remind say, that's where I work at.
Yeah,
because I don't own no stock, but it have filtered through jobs, through sports, through
Yeah,
media,
my team.
everything. We watched the
And
game
people
last
want to
night.
kill somebody for their team losing.
Oh yeah, I know. Lakers fans, this
My
nigga
children
crazy.
come to me and say, my team, my player, my this, my. I said, how much money do you get? Because we supposed to have some money. That's yours. You know what I'm saying?
Reality check real quick.
Yeah, man. You got to keep that reality check in there, man, because that language is what takes us out.
Yeah.
That's what Elijah was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
The language of the devil. And people couldn't understand. They said this man just hate the white folks. He just want to do this, that. And no, he was giving Allah's message.
Right. Much of the enslavement of our people today is in the language.
It is in the language.
Because our people, don't understand.
And it's not just against our people, because see, we got to stop saying our people.
Mm-hmm.
It's against people.
Okay.
Because see, the Jinn is taking all the people out.
Yeah.
See, Elijah was employed by El to call the African American people. I'm employed to call all the people. Allah is not prejudiced. Allah is calling all the people. But it was calling our people to come up out of the dust of death. To get up from our laziness like Lazarus and walk. Stop being the living dead. Which so many of us, we fight, man. We don't understand that the Lord El hates laziness. We don't understand that the Lord El hates deceit. And people just go about deceiving themselves and being lazy, refuse to employ their minds to do the work that's necessary to do to become a better person. Huh? You call a person to the Lord and His wisdom, they say, well, I can use this to get my house. I could use this to raise my family. Oh man, I could use this to be better than everybody. When are they gonna hear this call to Allah, to El, to Ahezaah? When? Not a call to yourself. In reality, Ahezaah is the self. It is the self that's supposed to be preserved. It is the mind of creation that creates all things in reflection of its own self. And we are apart from that in the whole scheme of things as the reality. We are the unreality. Huh? It is the infinite and we are the finite.
That's right.
So it's like if we work to save it, to preserve it, we will preserve ourselves. And we'll preserve a place for ourselves as it promised in eternity. Huh? And people always talking about they want the eternal love and they want the eternal freedom and they want the eternal life. The eternal is El. Huh? It's El.
People don't believe that though. They think that the reality is house cars, the things of this world.
The thing that takes it down. Like Allah said, Ahezaah said to me, I created I placed the devil in man, in mankind as a trial. And I placed the devil in the life of mankind on earth as a trial. And that trial is for man to turn away from the evil and turn to it. But we're so inclined to the evil. Huh? The evil works from the back of us. In the back of our heads. It's just working, and we love it. We wanna be hanging out with it. But here it is about the life hereafter. If you don't believe in Ahezaah law and the life hereafter, then you're gonna be lost. And I see we gotta go.
But with that sign given to us, we hope you enjoyed what you heard and hearing the I-Had moment, the calm before the storm. You can write to us via I-Had Incorporated, Post Office Box 8795, Newark, New Jersey, 07103, or via the internet at thirdhouse@yahoo.com. Lord Holy-Apostle,
of you
great blessings
bro,
on
to
life,
do
ladies.
things right,
Those who are tuning this
to
program,
keep
have
up
Jesus'
with
peace and
keeping your
other
lives
blessings.
tight, tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you